Hello, my name is Karpasamy. I'm going to be explaining my third lab experiment on delegates and events. So this experiment is about declaring, instantiating and invoking delegates, return type covariance, parameter contravariance, event declaration, binding, triggering and handling, lambda expression and anonymous methods. So the key terms that has to be used are delegates, event, and then this symbol is used for the symbol is the lambda expression. So now let's take a look at the question. So the question for me is matrix. So this is same as to that of the previous experiment, that is experiment 2. So what happens here is we are having a matrix class, and then inside the matrix class we'll declare integer variables to represent the number of rows and the columns of the matrix, and then we'll have a two-dimensional integer array to store all the values, and then we'll have a constructor to overload and initialize all the matrices and to create the matrices, and then we're going to override the toString function and to display the matrix object as 2D matrix, and then we're going to add functions to add, subtract two matrix objects. So we're going to use add and subtract alone. So the next one is create a matrix test class. In matrix text class, what happens is we're going to here is where we're going to create that delegates and event. So in it we'll also have the main method, obviously, and inside the main method we'll have programs to add to matrix, subtract to matrix, and then create an array of delegates. And then we'll also have multicasting. So this multicasting is done by adding we'll create an object of the class, and then we'll use the delegate of the class to add two different functionality, that is add and subtract at the same time. And then we're going to use anonymous method to multiply a matrix by object by 2, and then we're going to use lambda expression to add 5 to a matrix. So now let's take a look at the program. So as you can see, this is the program. Initially I've declared two different delegates. The first delegate is my del. So this delegate is used for two matrices. So in case of add and subtract, so two matrices M1 and M2 will be given, and then the second one is my delegate 1 for matrix M1 alone, that is in case we'll just get one matrix as input. For example, in the anonymous class and lambda expression, and then we're opening a class called matrix, and inside this we'll have two different constructors. One is an empty constructor that will initialize rows and columns to defaultly as 2, 2, and then we'll also initialize all the values to zeros. And then the next one is a matrix that gets the arguments from the user, that is the number of rows, columns, and then the array. So this will be set to all the data members present in the class. So this is it, and then there are two more functions, that is add and subtract. So the add function, what happens is we just open we'll initially get two different matrices, and then we'll check if rows and columns of these matrices are same. In case both are same, we'll go inside, and then we'll create tempr and tempc, that is two different variables, and then we'll store all the values of the value of rows and columns of matrix C and D to them, and then we'll also initialize temp ma to zeros, and then we'll send all these as arguments to the matrix constructor, and that will be used for creating the matrix E. And then finally we'll add the matrix C and D, that is the value of matrix C and the value of matrix D, and then store it in matrix E, and then we'll finally display the matrix E. So just like that, we'll also do the same thing for subtract. The only difference is here we'll minus the value of C and the value of D matrix, and then we'll display the value. So here this is the main program, and inside this program class we'll create a my delegate object called CC. So this will be used for multicasting, and inside the main function we'll ask the user to enter row and column of the first matrix, and then we'll also ask the user to enter the values, and then finally we'll create a matrix by passing on rows, columns, and then the matrix that we just got from the user. Then we're creating the matrix A. Similarly, we'll also create a matrix B, as you can see here, and then here what happens is we're creating an array of delegates, and the array of delegates name is E. We're giving two different values. The first one is x.add and the second one is x.sub. So we'll call these delegates using this for loop, that is x.add and x.sub. So both will be called, and then here for multicasting we're going to create an object like I said, and then we're going to use the delegate, that is CC. So as you can see here, we've declared a my delegate event, and we're going to add x.add and x.sub to this, and then finally we're going to use anonymous method to multiply a matrix object by 2. So for creating an anonymous method, it will be very simple. It's just like creating a new delegate, but instead of opening this in a separate class, we'll just give this as an anonymous method, and then we'll enter this as a method itself. I mean, we'll treat this as a method itself, and then here what happens is we're gonna multiply all the values of the matrix A1 into 2, and then we're gonna display them, and then finally this one is for lambda expression to add 5 to a matrix object. So this is also very simple. So like I said earlier, this is expression, I mean, this is the simple use for a lambda expression. So the syntax is my delegate one. So my delegate one is the delegate that I showed you at the beginning of the program, and then the delegates variable is equal to the matrix parameter and then the lambda symbol, and then we'll write the code for the what this lambda expression has to do. So here it has to add 5 to the matrix object. So as you can see, a1.ma plus 5 is given here. So ma will have the values of the matrix a1, so every value in the ma is getting added by 5, and then we're going to display it finally. So now let's run the program. So the rows and columns, I'm giving it as 2, 2, and then the values are 1, 2, 3 and 4, and again I'm giving it as 2, 2, and then 1, 2, 3 and 4. So as you can see, addition is done 2, 4, 6, 8, and then subtraction is also done 0, 0, 0, 0, and multi-classed we're gonna call both addition and subtraction at the same time. So addition is called first and the subtraction is called second, and then anonymous method is used for multiplying it by 2, so it's 2, 4, 6, 8, and then lambda expression used for adding 5 to the matrix object. So as you can see, it's 6, 7, 8 and 9. So this is it. Thank you for watching.